After doing a bunch of Dragon Ball stuff these past couple days, I thought it would be nice to give myself and you guys a bit of a breather from all that by doing a video about Devil May Cry. I intend to do a review of DMC5 in the next coming days or weeks, but I have college exams at the moment, and I also want to finish my 4th playthrough of the game on normal to really give you guys my completed impressions on them, to really see what works, what doesn't, so that I can give you as close to an accurate assessment of my thoughts on the game can be. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed my attempt at chronicling the ages of Dante across the DMC franchise. But before I begin, I want to thank two people in particular: Fourth Snake for doing a couple of DMC videos of his own on Dante's age, and also DMC5 Info, a nice little Twitter handle that translated the DMC5 before the Nightmare novel, giving us plenty of chronological details that form a lot of the basis for this video. If you want to check those guys out, you can find them down in the description below. The first big age we get for Dante is him being 8 years old when Ava is killed. This has been stated in numerous times across the series, and has thus far not been contradicted by anything, so we're going to say that he is 8 when his family is completely destroyed by Mundus's assassins. The next age we get for Dante, and by extension Virgil, is 18 around the time of the DMC3 manga, an age that is also supported by the Before the Nightmare DMC5 novel. Both sources state that 10 years prior to the manga's events, Ava was killed, placing both Dante and Virgil around the ages of 18 during the manga's events. To further corroborate this claim, when Virgil is speaking with Arkham, Arkham says that there was a woman murdered at the outskirts of a town about 10 years ago. And later on, through Virgil's point of view, we see Virgil himself experiencing this same attack, showcasing him as a young boy using Yamato to fend off the demons, while his house at the outskirts of town is being destroyed, where his mother, a woman, is being killed by demons. This flashback, along with the aforementioned DMC5 novel statement, pretty definitively tells us that Dante and Virgil are 18 years old during these events. DMC3 happens about a year later, where Dante himself says on 2 different occasions that it's been basically a year since he and Virgil last saw each other. Where the DMC4 special edition stuff for Virgil takes place, it's not really specific, but I'd like to think that Virgil went to Fortuna a couple months after the manga, so Nero would be born or a very, very young infant around the time DMC3 happens. This is going to be very important to nailing down Dante's age later on. The next official age we get for Dante is in DMC1, where Trish says that 20 years ago, Mundus's assassins attacked Dante's home, destroying his family, an age that is once again supported by the DMC5 novel, placing Dante at the age of 29 during DMC1. This also works because some official statements have stated that DMC1 takes place about 10 years after DMC3, and series creator Hideki Kamiya has stated that when he was making DMC1, he felt that Dante was in his late 20s to early 30s. Now is when things get a bit more complicated, please bear with me. I'm aware of the timeline change made by Capcom that places 2 in the middle of the franchise instead of being at the tail end of it. And to explain how old Dante is in 2 and in the anime, I'm going to have to first define how old he is in 4, the novel for 5, and in DMC5 proper. So how old is Dante in DMC4? 38 years old. We know this because people have stated from Capcom themselves that Nero in 4 is the same age Dante was in 3, i.e. 19 years old. So 19 plus 19 makes Dante 38. This neatly fits into some other statements saying that Dante is in his late 30s, approaching 40 during the events of DMC4. DMC5's novel states that the events of DMC4 happened 5 years prior to Before the Nightmare, placing Dante at 43 years old during the novel. Since there's a 1-year time skip between the novel for 5 and the video game DMC5, this puts Dante at 44 years old during DMC5 proper. And now we get to the anime in DMC2, which is pretty simple. In Before the Nightmare, where Dante is 43 years old, he stated that 10 years ago he defeated Argisax and took care of Patty, placing the anime in DMC2 very, very close to one another timeline-wise. Since Dante is 43 years old in Before the Nightmare, just remove 10 years from his age and you'll figure out that he is 33 years old during the events of the anime and DMC2. And that is it, folks. Those are the official ages for Dante across time. I'm sure you can find some holes in this, some things that might not work perfectly, but I'm pretty sure this is more or less the best possible age you can get for Dante using these various sources into consideration. But for those of you wanting a textual overview of his ages, I'm going to be putting up one right now on the screen as well as in the description below, just for your convenience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.